Good afternoon. I will be presenting our CPS protocol for all A-Leaf ISD employees. The definition for abuse. Abuse is mental, emotional, physical, or sexual injury to a child or failure to prevent such injury. Neglect. Neglect includes failure to provide a child with food, clothing, shelter, and or medical care, and or leaving a child in a situation where the child is at risk of harm. It's the law. The law requires any person who believes that a child is being abused, neglected, or exploited to report the circumstances to the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services, DFPS Abuse Hotline. A person making a report is immune from civil or criminal liability, and the names of the person making the report is kept confidential. Any person who suspects abuse and does not report it can be held liable for a Class A misdemeanor. Campus reporting protocol, option 1, must be reported within 48 hours of suspected abuse neglect. You have 2 days to report, okay? So staff member suspects abuse and makes their own report. That's option 1, making your own report. If abuse is suspected, the initial staff member will make the report, document the items referenced below, and notify the counselor immediately. If the counselor is not available, the staff member must notify the campus administrator immediately. The staff member should not interview the child or check for bruises. If applicable, the counselor or administrator will contact the nurse. Before concluding the call, staff should collect the name and or ID of the CPS intake worker, reference number, priority call designation, and documented form of abuse. The counselor must complete and submit the child abuse and neglect report form via email to Chief Dan Turner and Captain Henry Bonaporte. Here is option 2. The counselor and our nurse assist staff with reporting. You still have 48 hours. If abuse is suspected, the initial staff member must notify the counselor immediately. The counselor may sit with the staff member while the staff member completes the report. The staff member must document the items referenced below. If the counselor is not available, the staff member must notify the campus administrator immediately. The staff member should not interview the child or check for bruises. If applicable, the counselor administrator will contact the nurse. Before concluding the call, staff member must collect the name and or ID number of the CPS intake worker, reference number, priority call designation, and documented form of abuse. And again, the counselor must complete this and submit the child abuse and neglect report form via email to our chief and captain of A-Leaf ISD Police Department. Then you have option 3. And once again, you have only 48 hours to report. So this is for CIS, communities and school staff member. If abuse is suspected, the CIS staff member will make the report, document the CPS reference number, and notify the counselor immediately. If the counselor is not available, the staff member must notify the campus administrator immediately. Same as everything else, the CIS staff member should not interview the child or check for bruises. If applicable, the counselor or administrator will contact the nurse. Before concluding the call, you know what's next. The CIS staff member should collect the name and ID number of the CPS intake worker, reference number, priority call designation, and documented form of abuse. The counselor must complete and submit this child abuse and neglect report form to our chief and captain of A-Leaf ISD Police Department. So here are the priority levels. You have priority 1. The CPS agent will respond in 24 hours. That is if the situation has immediate threat of danger that could result in death or serious harm, sexual abuse, and the accused person still has access to the child. Severe FTT or severe failure to thrive. Preschool or younger with injury or no supervision. Head injury in children under 6 years old. Danger of death due to neglect. Priority 2, CPS has 72 hours to initiate investigation. Safety threat that could result in substantial harm. Excessive punishment without current serious injury. Sexual abuse by the accused person has no immediate but the accused person has no immediate access to child. Not following up on medical appointment, but child not at immediate medical risk. Neglectful supervision resulting in minor harm, which may be an accidental ingestion or neglect. Priority not assigned. Requires more information and supervisor reviews before case is initiated or investigated. History of abuse, but no immediate risk. Report is too vague to meet criteria. Not enough information to locate child or family. So reporting, helpful information to have when filing an abuse report if known. Name, age, and address of the child. Brief description of the situation involving the child. Current injuries, medical problems, or behavioral problems. Parents' names and names of siblings in the home. So this is how you can do your reporting. By phone, call the abuse hotline 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, toll free, 1-800-252-5400, or by secure internet website, www.txabusehotline.org. You guys already have the form that we used last year where you have the 4 parts. And on the CPS side, it gives you the number and it gives you the hyperlink directly to this website. That is the end of the CPS reporting protocol for the 2022-2023 school year. If you have any questions, please make sure to reach out to the counselors of Landis as soon as you can. Thank you.